How are you?
Good. So today we are going to talk about ways that women can keep men interested, whether these are single women or women within relationships, but heterosexual women and how they keep men interested.
Awesome. And we are qualified to talk about this because we are trained professionals, but we also have a ton of collective dating experience, the ups, the downs, the good and the bad. So we're relationship coaches, therapists, but we also have a wealth of our own information. So
Absolutely. And we've been working together for quite some years now in the field of sexuality, coaching, specifically females and their role within heterosexual relationships.
yeah.
So do you want to start with single women looking for men?
What I want to talk about is, I feel like on that first date or that second date, or maybe even that third date, because the first date you're kind of filled with like, hey, who are you? And then it's kind of like, I think a lot of us start going a little crazy when we're like, how do we keep them past that point? Like, if the first date went well, or, we on this first date, or maybe it's toward the end of the date and it feels like things are kind of trailing off. How do we end on a good note, and how do we keep them intrigued beyond just that first? We always get excited around the first meeting if there's chemistry, but how do we keep the conversation going, and how do we come back after that first date and keep the momentum going?
Yeah. So my initial thought, as you say that, of things read and researched, is that you always have to be authentically who you are. Like, you don't want to put on a front to keep them interested, because then they're becoming interested in someone that you're not actually. So by the time they actually see who you are, they're not interested because you made up this lie about yourself. So other than being authentic, you have to present yourself in a way that's engaging, whether that's through your eye contact, your dress, the activities you decide to go on. That's one thing that I've noticed around that third date, like you were saying, Leanne, that that's that make or break time. So like, you have to up not the dinner and the movie, but have something, like have an idea that gets them excited, that you're excited about too.
Well, I think that's so perfect, because a lot of the things I've been thinking about is so many times we try to use ourselves to keep the excitement going, and then we almost feel like we have to start putting on a front because no one is that exciting all of the time.
It's like exhausting.
Like, I am one person. I am not a cruise ship activities director. Like, I'm just me. And so when we start to make it like about us having to keep the attention and the excitement, like you said, we start acting like someone we're not. But why not find an activity that's going to raise the endorphin levels, raise the excitement? And the more you raise those levels in someone, the more it mimics that love feeling. And so people really begin to think, I'm in love.
Right.
Interested in someone, don't rely on your own song and dance to keep it going. Like, think of creative, fun activities you do together so you can have a shared experience while still being yourself. I love that.
Absolutely. And I think that transitions, in my opinion, into what about when you're in an actual committed relationship? Yeah. When you're in a committed monogamous relationship and the relationship has been lasting for a while, you have like some security in it. That security makes it not as exciting. So how do you keep men interested? Like, how do you keep dating while you're a committed partner? And I think this fits in also with that. I don't know if you have anything you wanted to say about your own experience in this and how you keep things exciting.
Yeah, I think it's just exactly what you're talking about, that mixing things up, that not just doing the same thing all the time. I know for me, I get, even like in my relationship, it keeps my partner interested, but also what keeps me interested. If we're just sitting at home for another night, I start to get stir crazy and That's when I'm starting Googling, like, what fun things are going, movies in the park, activities to do, going on a bike ride together, just getting out of the house, I think is always a good thing.
I think I have one more thing to add to that. I also believe like within a partnership, in a relationship, it's good for you to have activities that you love and that are your hobbies. And I know that you do this personally, and I work on doing this myself, that are your passion and not your partner's, because you want them to have their love, you to have yours, and then you can come back and kind of have your individual joy and share it with one another. And that keeps you interesting and exciting versus meshing and everything has to be like, I'm going to go to that baseball game with you. I'm going to come watch, this concert with you. Everything together gets really old and totally not exciting or erotic in any way.
Well, and I love that because it's so true. Like we think about what are we going to do with our partner, but we often forget to ask ourselves, what are we going to do for ourselves? Mm-hmm. Because you know what makes it really fun to come home and have my same old boring dinner that I always make at home and snuggle up on the couch is that I've had a full day doing other things.
Right.
So it's not always about mixing things up with them all the time. Like you said, if I have a few free hours, why don't I do something I love so that when I come home, I'm ready and excited to bring in this new energy to the relationship.
Yeah, for sure. So this was the first of many future blabs that Leanne and I are going to do together. But unfortunately, due to time and some technical difficulties earlier today, we're going to have to end it for now. But I've so enjoyed talking with you and being here in this presence and giving people some of what we've learned over the last, at least for me, 5 years of doing this. So.
Yes, it's awesome. So we look forward to continuing the conversation, answering any further questions, and we will come to you all soon.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.